Hey solos. So you think of going to Walt Disney World and Disneyland all by yourself all the time, and you want to think of ways to bring that home. Well, guess what? You can do that. Solo spoiler, there are wonderful unofficial cookbooks that can help you bring the magic of the snacks and the treats and the restaurants home with you, and that is a perfect way to bring some Disney solo magic into your everyday life. Hi, everyone. It is Samantha. Olaf may not know who Samantha is, but now you do. And welcome to Disney Solo Magic, the number one podcast for solo travel to Disney World and Disneyland and all of them. So, I have another amazing episode with Ashley Kraft, the author of the Unofficial Disney Parks Cookbook and the Unofficial Disney Restaurants Cookbook. The week before last, we talked about her cookbook for the Unofficial Universal Parks Cookbooks. And that was such a fun conversation. Last December, we talked about her Unofficial Disney Holidays Cookbook, but it's not just Christmas and Hanukkah and Kwanzaa. It's like, it's not just the winter holidays, it's all the holidays. So get it for all the upcoming fall holidays. And we talk about the Unofficial Disney Parks Cookbook and the Restaurants Cookbook in this episode. And like all the episodes that I've done with her, it was so much fun. It was so fun listening to it back. Like, we recorded it about, well, actually, we recorded it in the spring, and I've been holding on to it, and it was such a pleasure to listen to it again and edit it because it was just such a fun conversation. We talk about, like, the joy of a spreadsheet when you go to Disney World. We talk about the joy of memories that we get from restaurants and foods and the ways that we can bring those memories to us in our own kitchens from our Disney trips. And it's just a joy to talk with her. And I hope you love this episode, especially because you had to wait an extra week. So here's where I'm going to give the requisite apology about the fact that I missed last week. So look, I have been to the Art Gallery of Ontario 4 times this year with 3 different kids, 13 and under. Um, anyway, like, literally every day this summer has been hanging out with one of my nieces or nephews or, doing some, like, out of town work or recovering from the nieces and nephews as a child-free woman. All of a sudden, I was like, "Oh my gosh, there's so much to pay attention to." In fact, when they're not here, I've been having nightmares of like, "Ugh, where are they? Are they okay?" Yeah, of course they're okay. They're home and safe with their parents. Anyway, it's been wonderful. Although it was so funny this week because I had my like 9-year-old niece here and we were looking through some photos because she was making a photo frame. So we were looking through some old photos so she could put a photo in the photo frame. And I said, "Oh, what is this photo of?" And it was a picture of Cinderella Castle that I had taken with a film camera last summer. And she said, "This is the place that you go to with Auntie," and Auntie meaning my 75-year-old mother. And I was like, "That's right." She's like, "You go to Disney with Auntie a lot." And I was like, "Yes." And I just realized that, like, for my nieces and nephews, Disney World is a place that adults go to, that, like, kids don't go there, but adults go there. And it is really funny. It's also really interesting to, like, think about being there with them and just the way that the experience is so different. And I, like, totally miss my Disney thinking time and Disney talking time and Disney being there time. So, yeah. Anyway, I apologize again. And actually, after this episode, there's not gonna be any more episodes for the month of August. So, here's a few things that you should know. Number 1, I have another person coming, and then I'm at Disney World for like a week, which is amazing. I will come back to that in a second. And then it's my birthday, and then we have to like start getting ready for this new project that I'm working on, new like work project that I'm working on, and I'm just really excited about that. So I just thought, you know what, I'm going to give myself a break of having to worry about the fact that I am remiss on the podcast, and so I am not going to post anymore for the month of August. Kind of. So I'm also going to Disney World the week of August 24th. I'm going for 4 days. It's my mother's 75th birthday. It's not a solo trip, but we're doing club level, et cetera, et cetera. And I think it's going to be a real like resort focused time. So here's a couple things. Number one, go on Patreon. You can become a free member. And I have put a thing there that said, what would you like me to do or see or get a picture of or get a video of? And I will do my best to capture all of that for you. And like my other trips, I will post images and like reflections and stuff from my trips when I am there on Patreon for members, paid members, and also free members. It's a little easier for me to post on Patreon when I'm traveling, like for safety reasons, but also it doesn't have to be as curated as it is when it's on Instagram and stuff like that. So, number one, there won't be any more episodes for August. There will be a reminder episode right before I go, but that's really just like me coming on for like 2 minutes. Number two, ensure that you're on Patreon as a free member or paid member. It's only $4 a month. And like, thank you so much for the Patreon members for like supporting the podcast, especially as I feel like I've been so remiss. Anyway, whatever. Apologies. Yeah, become a free member or a paid member and like let me know what you want me to see or do or anything like that on my upcoming August trip. That'd be great. And then also because I feel so terribly bad about being a good podcast host this summer. If you are a free member, I'm also going to make all of the episodes that have videos open for the free membership as well. So go on Patreon, become a free member, and you can check that out. But paid members, you always get a reflection on the end of each episode. And that is like a bonus, little mini bonus episode, really. And I have such really cool things I am planning on the fall with the kids gone, hopefully sleep restored. And I'm just really excited to share those with you for all the paid members. And I also have a trip to Disney that's coming at the end of October. And I just bought my Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween party tickets, which I'm very excited about. I have a very cheap plane ticket that doesn't really include luggage. So I do have like a costume idea. I have to see if it still fits because, blah, 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 changes body, perimenopause, blah, 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 blah. Anyway, so I'm very, very excited about that. And I'm just so excited for the fall to get back into like Disney gear to be able to talk about all things Halloween. I also am trying to like feel not so guilty about not doing an episode in August or any more episodes in August because it's D23 this weekend. So there's going to be a ton of announcements that all of the bloggers and content creators who are really focused on news will be able to like spam you. And also on August the 7th, crazily enough, was the very first Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween party. And so there's already a ton of Halloween content and everything like that out there. So if you are dying for Disney content, you can watch the videos that I will make available for you as a free member. But also, I'm sure there's other podcasts and blogs and all of that stuff that will become available over the next week or whatever. And that will saturate your feeds and you can keep abreast of all of those updates. And yeah. And also let me know what you want to see or to have me do or things like that when I am there in August. And I will do my best. Again, it's going to be a resort focused trip more than a park focused trip. All right, solos, please make sure you buy Ashley's books. We have talked about 4 in total on the podcast: the Disney Holidays book, the Unofficial Disney Holidays book, the Unofficial Universal Studios book. That was 2 weeks ago. This episode, we're talking about the Unofficial Disney Parks Cookbook, the Unofficial Disney Restaurants Cookbook, which is very cool. Please go buy them. There are links below. There's also links to Ashley's social media. These books are published by Adams Media, which is a subsidiary of Simon & Schuster. Thank you so much to them for sending me those books and allowing me to have the opportunity to talk to Ashley. It was just really, really wonderful to connect. In the episode, I mentioned, like, I feel like we need to do an episode about everybody's spreadsheets, but like, how do you do a podcast episode about Disney spreadsheets? I really can't think about it, but you can think about it, solos, and let me know because I know so many of you have spreadsheets and I want to see them. All right, that was enough preamble. Let's get into it. Ashley, welcome back to the Disney Solo Magic podcast. I'm so excited to talk to you today about not one, but two cookbooks from your Disney
hmm
collection, your Disney unofficial Disney collection. So thank you so much for coming back on the podcast. Can you introduce yourself?
Yes. So my name is Ashley Kraft, and I wrote the Unofficial Disney Parks Cookbook, which was my first cookbook that I wrote in 2020. And yes, if you're viewing via video, we've got some demo here. And then since then, I have written six theme park books, five Disney cookbooks, and one Universal theme park cookbook. And now I've branched into some other realms as well. I'm a huge Disney fan, Disney nerd. I've been a huge Disney parks lover for life, including growing up in Anaheim Hills near Disneyland and doing two internships at Walt Disney World. So, yeah, that's me.
That's awesome. So we've talked a couple times, and every time you introduce yourself, you tell me different information
I've
about
gotten you,
yourself.
and I have four cats, and I have three kids.
I already knew that. I already knew that before we started recording.
Maybe your listeners don't know that
Yeah,
yet.
that's
They,
right. That's
they
right.
don't
Maybe
care how
they.
many kids I have, but everyone wants to know how many cats I have.
Yeah,
So.
four. I have a cat beside me who's been. Anyway, if anyone hears any weird scratching noises, it's the cat beside me.
It's not Ashley.
So we talked about the Universal Cookbook, and so that's an episode. I'm not sure if it's before or after this one, but that is out around the same time. We also talked about your Disney Holidays book. That's how we first
Yes.
met, and that was back in the Christmas season. Even though it's not a Christmas book, which I think is great. So people should go like pick it up for all the holidays that are coming up in the fall. So that's really great. We're going to talk about two of your six books today, which means, I guess, in the bingo card, there's three we'll still need to talk about.
Boop. Yep.
So the first one is the unofficial, well, we'll talk about them all together. Is the unofficial Disney Parks Cookbook, which I actually got from a friend. She got this for me as a Christmas present a few years ago. So I was
Ew.
already reading all about you before I connected with your publisher. And then the other book we're talking about today is the unofficial Disney Parks Restaurant Cookbook. And I think of all of them, like this one has some post-it notes on it. I think of all of them, this one has made my heart like swell in happiness the most. So could you talk about the differences, like the two different books that we're talking about today, the differences between them, how you understand them, and then I have some
Yeah.
questions.
I can't wait to know about your heart swelling. I thought you were going to say your heart stopping because of the Monte Cristo on the front, but
Oh,
just
no.
heart attacking.
No.
Um,
And the heart swelling is like happy. It's also not heart attacking. Yeah.
yes. Well, I can't wait to hear about
Okay,
what
great.
you love about it. But yeah, so like I said, this navy blue book was the first book that I ever wrote. So I wrote this book in 2020 during peak pandemic times, and so I was working with a literary agent. I had told him about my idea to write a Disney parks cookbook, because at that time there wasn't any official Disney parks cookbooks that were um, the everyday food items that people get from parks. So like there had been the Delicious Disney books, that were more like festival foods or like restaurant foods, things like that, but it wasn't like the sort of bread and butter theme park stuff that people reach for at Disney. So I had pitched this idea, and we had pitched it to a bunch of publishers, and finally Simon and Schuster came back to me and said that they loved the idea, wanted to publish it. So I thought this was going to be the only book that I would ever write. So I wrote this book thinking that I have 100 recipe slots to put the 100 most iconic Disney parks recipes, and that's all I will ever write. So at the time, I did not imagine that it would become a bestseller, that it would launch my career into being a cookbook writer for the rest of my life. So I was not thinking about like breaking it down into categories is my point. So this is sort of a catch-all, and it's like basically at the highest level in the fact that it is Dole Whips, it's pretzels, it's turkey legs, that kind of stuff. So if you only buy one book of mine, this is probably the one if you're a like regular Disney fan. Um, So that's what I think about this book. Probably if it had had a subtitle, I would call it the Unofficial Disney Parks Snacks and Treats Cookbook, which is probably not like 100% accurate, but that's what I look at it as, is I call it like in my head, my Snacks and Treats Cookbook. After that, I was able to write many more books. My second book was the drinks cookbook. So that was all different kinds of beverages, both alcoholic, non, slushies, milkshakes, anything you could drink. My third book was the Epcot cookbook. So that includes festivals, all the country food, all that kind of great stuff. And then I wrote the Universal Parks cookbook, and then the restaurants book. So the restaurants book is all the things that you can get from a quick service or a full service restaurant. So this is not going to include any snacks or treats. This is all stuff that you can order from a window or from a restaurant. So that's all like regular meal type of foods. And then, as you said, my final Disney book is the holidays book. So that's a lot of snacks and treats, but it's basically just anything that has a holiday theme is caught in that book. So that's what these two have. That's how I categorize them.
Well, first, people should buy both. But I actually think that if people were going to buy one, I would recommend the restaurants book
Oh,
over
yeah.
the unofficial Disney Parks book. And
I'm taking a I'm
I
taking a
couldn't think
selfie
of
of us.
why, but sorry, what did you say?
I said I'm taking a selfie of us. So
Oh, also, if you are a Patreon member, you can watch us pose on these pictures.
yeah, we're over here posing.
And I was thinking about why that might be. And then when you said it's because it's snacks and treats, I was like, right. Because when
Yeah.
I look at well, first, obviously, it's great. But when my friend gave me this and I was like looking at like the different foods that were in here, I thought to myself, like, oh, like nothing is like a meal. Like, am I going to make caramel popcorn just for myself? Like, sure, but that's a lot of work for like a snack, and I still have
Yeah.
to like have
Yeah.
dinner. But
Mhm.
to be honest, I did buy some caramel popcorn the other day, and that was my dinner. But you know what I mean. But when I look at this one, the restaurants book, there is so many more meals, like like you said, restaurant, table service, quick service, that I'm like, right, I'll get in the kitchen, I can start cooking, I can start doing all these things, and then I'll be inspired and I might want to do a snack or a treat.
Mhm.
So, yeah, I don't know. I think that for me at least, the entryway, at least for someone that's cooking for herself, is the restaurants book.
Yeah, yeah, that's a great point. I really like that. And I also think that I have refined my process every book that I write. So I
Right.
always think that my newest book is the best one because I'm just getting better at cooking, about writing, all that kind of stuff. So I was very new when I wrote the first book, and I think that shows on some of the pages. But I think by the time I wrote the restaurants book, I knew a lot more what I was doing. So there's that as well. But that's a really cool point about making the like dishes that you want to sometimes just have like a full meal instead of just cooking for a snack. And I think that's a good point.
Yeah, like it's nice to have the two together.
Hmm.
And I think that your distinction by saying like colon snacks and treats
Yeah,
and then like colon meals like makes a lot more sense to me now.
yeah. And I wish I could like add that, but that's not a thing. So
But
maybe one of
also
these days.
like again, everyone should buy both. Also go to your public library. But
Yeah.
also I think that like when my friend bought me the first book, it was because she knew that I liked Disney and that I liked to bring some of these things home. It wasn't as much like, oh, I know you're going to make like a turkey leg yourself, as much as like,
Right.
here's a souvenir to kind of think about all the different foods. And so when she
Yep.
first got me the book, I saw the foods in the parks differently because I had looked through the recipes and stuff like that.
Hmm.
So that was an interesting kind of I want to say portal, interesting like a window into the parks experience because of the book too.
Oh, that's really interesting. Kind of adjacent to that, a lot of people probably don't think about buying cookbooks for the like introductory content, but all of these books I wrote from my own knowledge and experience of Disney parks. And as I said, I have a huge love of Disney as well as like a breadth of experience at the Disney parks. And when you read these recipes, each and every single one has an introductory note. And I think they're cool bits of information. So if it's a recipe, maybe like a turkey leg, like to be honest, I probably would not pick up a recipe book and like make a turkey leg. Like that's just weird to me. Like I know I wrote it in the book, but like because some people want that. But what you will do, what you might do is get one from Disney, or you might buy one from your local fair or something like that, and you might find out some cool bit of information from the introductory note. So like I think that all these books have really fun just like bits of knowledge in them from stuff that I've experienced. So if that's the kind of thing you like to learn about Disney, it's a fun gift or for yourself or for others.
For sure. Like, knowing the listeners, we're all about fun facts. And so I think that having all of these fun facts again is like a really interesting way to think about the food. So I'm thinking about like the perfect popcorn right here for Hollywood Studios, which is
Yeah.
like first not a complicated recipe
No.
for popcorn.
Yeah.
Also, it's not just Hollywood Studios, but then like, you know, how many pounds of popcorn and like Walt eating popcorn. Like it really tells this larger story about food at Disney that you can then participate in if you wanted to, which is really cool, right? So if you're going to make popcorn, then you can be like, oh, well, here's a fun fact.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I'm obsessed with fun facts. So if you're the kind of person who likes to collect fun facts, we got plenty of fun facts in here.
And in the other conversations that we've had, we talked about the organization of the books. Like in the Universal one, for example, it's like by breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And in the holiday one, it also is organized in a
Yeah.
way that you might think is a little counterintuitive until you're like, oh, actually, that makes a lot of sense. But in this first book, it is organized by park and not
Yes.
by like
Yes.
theme of snack or by breakfast or whatever. And so you can really like do your own like little mental walking tour through one of the parks as
Hmm.
you are thinking about that, which I think is a nice way to organize it in comparison to the other books too that have different types of organizations.
Right. If you haven't had one of these copies of the book, they also have little maps in them. So if you are a visual learner, or if you can picture, you know, probably a lot of your readers can see these maps in their minds. So if you would like to look at it that way, then you're able to say, okay, well, when I'm planning my trip, I can think about which stops I want to take. Or when you're home, I'm trying to remember the stuff that I had. Where did I have that? Oh yeah, it was in Adventureland. So it's going to be one of the, you know,
Yeah.
it's visually laid out. I think these are really cute little maps.
They are. And there's also an index. If you were like, oh, well, I had popcorn at Magic Kingdom, you can find, you know, like you can still find the
Yep,
popcorn even if
exactly.
that isn't the geography of it wasn't your memory, right? So
Yeah,
there's a
totally.
couple ways in.
Hmm.
And this book covers um, all four parks at Disney. Does it include the water parks? I don't know why I'm asking you. I have the book right here.
It
And
does not.
also
No.
Disneyland. And so that is pretty cool too, because
Yes.
I feel like everybody knows that the food at Disneyland is better. How do you feel about that statement?
Shh.
I mean,
I'm a huge
churros is
Disneyland
the
fan.
first.
Um, it's so hard for me because like I don't know. I feel like I must have spent more time at in Florida by now. But like having grown up at Disneyland, like as a kid, we used to go. I mean, I lived there 5 years, and we had a pass probably every year, and we went. I don't know, every week, every other week. Like so, I mean, that's a lot. And but then I worked at Disney World, and I've had annual passes there as well. Anyway, it's hard for me to choose my loyalty, but I do think that Walt's Park has a certain je ne sais quoi, and the food there matches that, and it's good. It's very good. I'll just say that.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And also Disney California Adventures is in this book
Yes,
too.
which I think is an underrated food mecca, in my personal opinion.
Do you think it's underrated? I feel like the only reason why I would go is for the food.
I think that's why. I think that's why it's underrated because people who aren't foodies just say, "Why would I go there?"
Right. Right. In you said that the you had like the book not after this one, but the one after that was on Epcot. But Epcot is really well covered in this book as well. Do you
Yeah.
have a favorite country in Epcot that you like to find or explore new foods from?
I really love the Japan pavilion for that.
Yeah.
I've never visited Japan, but it's like the top of my wish list. So I've been to Europe many times in real life, and I just came from Europe a couple weeks ago, and I'm going to be in Europe again in a couple of weeks. So I do that a lot. So I'm kind of like familiar, I guess, with those cultures and countries. And I have been wanting to travel to Japan, but haven't. So I think it's really fun to get to immerse myself in that place that I haven't visited yet. And I love Japanese food. So for me, I try to stop there every time.
And how about in Magic Kingdom? Do you have a favorite land or food there?
Um, yeah, I mean, more like favorite places. Like I think my favorite spot to eat is Jungle Navigation Company,
Mm.
which I think is like sort of a hidden gem. Like I feel like you can almost always get a reservation there. Like it's not super packed, and I love the theming because I'm a SEA fan, and I love like little lore pieces. So I think it's cute to get to go places like that that have hidden secrets or gems, and I think the menu is really great. So I have been there many times, and I always recommend it.
It's great for solos too because it's table service, which sometimes it's nice just to like have sit down and have somebody
Totally.
take care of you.
Yeah.
And you can pretty much always get a table through walk up as well. And it has some really interesting food, like for maybe more mature palates. So
Yeah.
every time I've gone, I've gotten like the giant fish. Fried
Yeah.
fish.
Yeah.
And actually, there was another time I went and I wanted to make a modification from pork to chicken, and they were like, "Oh yeah, no problem, and we can do this to it too," and it was delicious.
Yeah. I really love it's like a falafel dish with like hummus, and that's just
Yeah.
not something I normally order. Like I am not a vegetarian or a vegan or anything, but this is a vegetarian dish and I'm obsessed with it. It has like roasted pepitas in it, and it does feel like this elevated food experience in the middle of a crazy day. Like you're usually just your sweat is crystallizing. Sit in the air conditioning. You're like, I smell so bad. I shouldn't be in a restaurant, but it feels so good to just relax and enjoy this like really delicious food.
Out of the four parks in Florida, I mean, is it like the answer Epcot? Like for the one that you would be like, yes, we're gonna do food today.
Epcot really has like a corner on the market as far as food. Like they certainly have um, the weight of sit down restaurants. So if
Yeah.
that's the kind of vibe that you like, but honestly, I would say whatever theme moves you, I think also your food vibe will match that. Like I was gonna say, I'm a huge Star Wars fan, and so I love Galaxy's Edge at Hollywood Studios. And I wouldn't say that the food there across the board is incredible, but because I'm so obsessed with the theming and because make the I make the attempt or whatever always to eat there so I can spend more time in the land. I've gotten to explore the menus more, and I think there's great stuff to be had there as well. So I think it's kind of whatever is meaningful to you because the cuisine at Epcot is exquisite. Also, it's world cuisine. So if that's the kind of stuff that you get at home, like if you often go to Japanese restaurants or Mexican restaurants or whatever, it's very similar to that kind of food. It's good. It's authentic. But if you want something more whimsical, more themed, then maybe the other lands are for you.
Right. Yes. Um, I noticed that you had the Ronto wraps in the parks book, but in the restaurants book, you have the Ronto less wraps for
Mm.
vegetarians and
Hmm.
vegans,
Yeah,
which is another reason why people should get both so that they can
you
choose.
have to. You just
Yeah.
have to. Yeah.
One thing you didn't have in this book, oh, maybe it's in the other one. Maybe I didn't notice it in the other one, was at Hollywood Studios, there's this like waffle bowl full of noodles,
Yeah. Where is that?
like on Sunset Boulevard, like across from the Beauty and the
Um,
Beast theater.
I actually think that has been new since the book came out. Is that right?
Maybe. Yeah,
Because I
well,
don't think
probably before, probably after the first one. Yeah.
because I do that does sound familiar, but I'm pretty sure it's not in there.
Because I
I know what you're
found,
talking about though.
yeah, like I think that, I mean, sure, it's easy to get a bad rap for food, theme park food, but I always find that if you're looking for it, and this is why I tell solos on the podcast all the time, like, everyone's scrolling on their phones at night before your trip, just like browse menus because
Hmm.
you'll be
Totally.
surprised what you'll find on these menus with a more, again, like adult, sophisticated palate. And maybe people aren't into that, and that's totally fine, but that's an option. But I think, though, that also your books can also be, rather than scrolling on your phone, to like flip through the books to see what is out there.
100%. And that was one of the main aims of the books was not only to have nostalgia from after a trip to try and eat those foods to have memories from what you experienced, but also in the pre-planning of a trip that I think the anticipatory period of a trip is so important. And
Yeah.
this is a huge part of that to say, what do I want to eat? I'm absolutely that girl who's going to look at every single menu and choose exactly what I want to eat before I go. And I make checklists. I've got spreadsheets. So, I mean, you don't have to be as intense as that, but just to even have one thing to look forward to say, hey, I heard they have waffle cone noodle bowls. I'm totally going to have that. Like, that's cool. That's something that you're looking forward to.
I feel like there's a lot of listeners that have spreadsheets for something on their Disney
Good.
trips.
They're my
And
people. Yeah.
I know. I'm like, I feel like we need to do an episode on it. I'm like, but how do you do a verbal podcast episode about spreadsheets? I mean, that
Oh, I
sounds
bet I could.
okay.
I
You
mean, I was
figure
just
out how
doing
we
it.
can do that in a way that is not just like, oh, maybe it is just a lunch and learn. Maybe that is actually just what we're going to do.
Yeah, maybe. If your listeners listen to the other episode, I was just talking about how I visited Epic Universe and
Hmm.
went to every single dining location at Epic Universe, and that was not done accidentally. It was planned. So it takes a lot of planning to hit all the things that you want, and it sometimes is those hidden gems that you're gonna come back and rave about that were off the beaten path that you wouldn't have even noticed had you not planned that ahead of time.
I know. We're just like these are our people that are like the more you plan, the more spontaneity you can have.
It's
I,
yes, thank you. That's such I love that. And I feel that in my core for real.
are you an eldest sibling?
No, it
Oh,
does sound like that though, doesn't it?
yeah, totally.
I'm the third of four,
Oh,
actually.
wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I'm the only one in the family that will do spreadsheets, and they'll be like, "Wow, Samantha, that was so like easy." And so, no, yeah, there's a lot of work.
Yeah. I don't think I was ever the planner growing up because I was in that position. But I'm definitely the planner in my home. My husband is also a third child, so somebody's got to step up and
Yeah,
be the
the
be the
grown up.
planner.
Yeah.
So
Um,
definitely me.
every time I've gone to a food festival, an Epcot food festival, I always think I should bring a pen. I should make a list. I should bring a pen and I should like check things off on the little
Yeah.
passport every time.
Yep.
And I'm just like, Samantha, be chill. You don't need to do that. Bleh. And the last food festival I went to was Festival of the Arts, and people on Patreon like identified things they wanted me to try. And
Yeah.
so I did. I just brought a pen and a passport, and I enjoyed it so much more. I felt like I could eat more, I could try more. Like it was cool to have people on Patreon suggest things,
Hmm.
but I
Yeah.
also found that having the plan. Okay, we're just going to talk about spreadsheets now. Having a plan about what to eat then allowed me to like prepare my body to be like, okay, well, we are going to do like three savory things and then a sweet thing. And,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
it's so easy at Disney to like think it's all like ice cream and popcorn
sweet.
and French
Yeah.
fries. And
Mhm.
that's really not the case.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, I also want to validify the other side of that because, like you said, it's okay to be chill sometimes too. Like everybody's allowed to have the vacation that they dream of.
Yes, 100%.
Um, and I would say I feel like I'm in more control when I have the spreadsheets and things like that. But I've absolutely had vacations where I've just flown by the seat of my pants, and that can be fun as well, especially as a solo traveler, because you don't have other people that you're trying to appease. So if you're traveling by yourself, this may be the one opportunity that you get to just do whatever you want with abandon. So I can see the appeal on both sides. I just personally am a spreadsheet girl and
Yes.
always have paper and pens with me. But I'm happy for you, free spirits who
So
can
exciting.
go with it. Yeah,
But also, it's a solo vacation. So you do you bibbity bobbity boo,
you do
right? Like
you.
however
That's
that,
right.
yeah, I love that you said that. So thank you.
100%.
Okay, so why this made my heart swell in happiness is because the first page I opened was to the Melba crepes.
Ooh,
And
yeah.
I have eaten this very crepe. And I would often, when I do semi solo trips with my mother, we're doing a food festival, we'll go to the creperie, we'll have a prefix, and we'll split the crepe and the galette. And it's really, really great. And I would never have got that really like on my own, I think. And so when I saw this, it immediately brought back that memory. And I was like, well, maybe I do want to like try that at home. Like, I have such it's one thing to like have a whole bunch of like cool snacks that just seem kind of ephemeral maybe, but there's something about the meals in the restaurant book that really just bring back these like sensory memories, not just of the taste but the ambiance and the music and everything like that. And it was just really cool to like flip through it and to be like, oh yeah, I could do this at home.
And it truly is magical because literally right when you showed that picture and you started talking about that, I started remembering my memories. Like I have been to that restaurant many times, but the first time I went there was with my older sister Jamie, that she came with me on a trip together, and we did the exact same thing as we split the prefix, and it was like I feel like I'm transported right back then. Like, and
Yeah.
that was years ago. It's really fun how it really is like sensory memories that you can hear the ding of the silverware, and you can see the room in front of you, just thinking about the food that you experienced.
And you can like think about the long Remy's line and you're like, I can't believe anyone, I do like Remy's, but like, how is anyone
We'll
waiting
wait for that. Yeah.
an hour and 2 hours for that ride? I don't understand. I am inside eating a crepe and it's delicious.
Fine by me. Yeah.
I also like there are a few things that aren't in the parks anymore, right? Like the sunbonnet strawberry salad that's in Pecos Bill.
Yeah.
And I also was thinking about these. I was talking with the Dapper Danielle about her books, also published by Adams Media, and we we get so like a bee in our bonnet about the fact that there's so much history at Disney that they just don't seem to like capture at all, which is
Yeah.
crazy. They have so many resources. And so I think too about these types of books really capture some of those like those history things on the menus.
Yeah. Yeah. It is really fun. Like, I always say that the books are a snapshot of that year that I wrote them. And
Mm,
I don't like, I don't really have the ability to say if that recipe is still happening or not, because you never know. Like sometimes they
yeah, that's
retire a
true.
recipe and then it comes back years later. Sometimes it seems like it's going to be around forever and then it's just gone. So that it's so. changing all the time. But
Yeah.
that one I think specifically was part of the 50th anniversary. Is that right?
Oh, yeah,
The
maybe that makes
sunbonnet
sense.
salad. So
Yeah.
again, like I have the memories of getting it, that literal salad, and sitting there like, and I was imagining what was happening at the time. And I was also eating churros that were dusted in gold for the 50th anniversary.
Right.
So
Yes.
like I hadn't
Well,
even thought about that.
this Happy Haunts milkshake was for the 50th.
Yeah.
And I mean, nobody can see it, but I know it's there. There's one of the squares back there. It has Haunted Mansion stuff. And behind the stuff that you can see is a postcard from Haunted Mansion that's in resin, but also it's in the resin is the straw, the Haunted Mansion straw that I got with that milkshake.
No way.
Yeah, so I have
Cute.
a good memory of that. But the other memory I have is that that was the worst donut I've ever had in my life. And so I am looking forward to trying my own because I was like, oh, they made too many of these that just kind of sat for too
Yeah.
long. So
That.
I'm excited to like think about what that might look like or what it would taste like when
See,
it's
you
fresh.
can reframe it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Make a new memory. Just unresin your straw and use it.
Yeah, that's right. That would work so well. I actually had to unresin some pins, enamel pins, because I didn't like the way I put it in. So I did figure out how to do
Oh,
that.
oh,
But
wow.
I don't think that doing it to the paper straw will be quite as effective. I'll let you know though.
Not gonna survive.
Yeah,
No. You've just made a paper straw, plastic straw.
yeah, that's right. That's right.
That's
I've
all we
I've
ever wanted.
I've brought this from Florida to Toronto and I've saved it for years. But you know what? I'm going to purposefully dip it in
Frick it.
hot water
Yeah.
and boil it.
Whatever.
Yeah, who cares? Who cares at this point?
Yeah.
So, this book, unlike the other book, is organized in that way that we were talking about the other ones, that
Yeah.
again is like
By
intuitive
dish.
once you start thinking about it, which is by breakfast, lunch, dinner,
Mm.
snacks. And I found that this organization for the Universal book was so great because if it was like, oh, just, Harry Potter land, as like someone who's not a Harry Potter fan, I wouldn't have like gone to that section. But
Yeah.
because you could just say, oh, now lunch, you'll find things that you might not normally look at. And so here, I mean, it's similar and different because I know the food at Disney so much more, but it
Yeah.
is kind of nice to see things together that I wouldn't necessarily think about trying because like that's not a land that I would go to or it's not a park I'd go to because Disneyland is also here.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, and I think it's actually also fun. This one, maybe not as much as the others because it's kind of like set meals, but it's fun to mix and match things that you can't get together in the parks. Like if you have something that's from California Adventure and then you eat it with something from Hollywood Studios, it's like that literally doesn't exist at the parks, but you made it at home. Like it's whatever you want. So if there's a side dish that you want to pair with a main from a different park or whatever, different franchise, you do you. You can create your magical dish all on your own. So
I
I
mean,
love
to
that.
me, that sounds horrifying, but
That's
that's
like not on the spreadsheet,
no
not on my watch. Forget
error.
what if it was like a Star Wars recipe from both Galaxy's Edges? Does that work?
Oh, yeah. I mean, I mean, okay. So first, Ashley, I don't
You're
think
just
that there
neither is
are
cooking
any
two things.
franchises that we have overlapped with that we both like. But so I don't really care about Star Wars either. But no, I would
But
have no problem with that.
okay, okay, okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Great.
Because it's still in universe.
See, that's
Yeah,
great. I
right.
love that. Yeah.
What was cool though, although I don't care about Marvel, is that I have seen really cool things about Pym's Kitchen, and so I've seen some things in the book related to that, which I think is really cool because
Yeah.
that's kind of an experimental type of quick service, if I know that correctly.
Yes, it's I really like Pim's. I'm also not a huge Marvel fan, but I do love eating at Pim's, so uh that's absolutely a must do for me.
The other thing that I noticed is that you had a couple Club 33 references in both books, which is pretty cool. One of them is a
Yeah.
Disneyland cranberry roasted medallion, which sounds very fancy. I wonder if you have any thoughts about your experience with food at Club 33, because I have been to Club 33 in Disney once, and I also have some thoughts.
Which one did you go to?
Epcot?
Oh, okay. Well, I want to hear all about that. But yes, I have been to Club 33 at Disneyland twice, and excellent experience. 10 out of 10. Must recommend. I'm sure your listeners already know this, but it's an exclusive club that you have to have some type of invitation to visit. And so I have a friend who's a member, and so that is how a friend who was a childhood friend when I lived in California. Um, so I love that. But it's basically it just feels like ultra exclusive. The food is really well made. I think the chef came out and spoke to us about the menu. I mean, it was just really great. And so the items from Club 33 that are in the book are actually the menu items that were there the day I was there. So I took a picture of the menu. So that's what these ones are, but they do have seasonal menus that change every season. So that's not something that would be on there anymore, probably, but they always use fresh local ingredients, that kind of stuff. And yeah, it's great. The second time I went, I took my kids as well, and they had an incredible time, of course. They were very little. And my daughter, I think, was maybe like 4 or something. And I think this was why the chef came out, but he came to talk to the kids. And she said she wanted to be a chef. And he said, well, you're probably going to be my boss here one day. And she just was through the moon. So she still talks about that to this day. She's 11 now. And she talks about how, yeah, I'm going to be the head chef at Club 33. I'm like, you do it, girl.
Adorable,
Yeah.
adorable.
Yeah.
Cast members are just the best.
Yeah.
Just a shout out to cast members always. My experience with the food was not great.
Really?
Yeah, it was really disappointing. I actually had to
Tell
send
me
something
what happened.
back.
My gosh.
I know. I was like,
What is the club there like?
oh, so it's very Art Deco.
Mm-hmm.
Um, it, I mean, for anyone listening from Toronto, if you know heritage buildings, it's very much like the Carlu. Like it's very much like 1920s, 1930s Art Deco. You can imagine it of like, like a car manufacturer with like sleek, like, creating a space like that, really sleek lines.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was very cool. Like the cast members were great. It was very quiet. It's above the American Experience in the America Pavilion.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So, and very quiet, which is such a interesting experience to be at Disney to just like
Mm,
very quiet,
yeah,
like, yeah.
totally.
So it was great, but yeah, like surprised about the food. I was also pleasantly surprised that there wasn't a huge markup on the food. Like, actually, it was like, like a little bit less than the similar food in the park,
Really?
which I thought was interesting.
The Disneyland menu was a prefix that it was
Yes.
yeah, so it was a all-in meal
Yeah, this was
deal.
just like a bar lounge, then you could order
Okay.
food. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So a
Yeah,
much
which they
different
do have that as
experience.
well, but that's not where I went.
Yeah. Well, look at us. Just super fancy.
So cool. I would love to go to the ones in Florida. I have no connection to those, so um,
Well, I'm not a
I
member, so we don't can't help you.
yeah, I always assume it's never possible. I do not have I don't have the goal to do it because I don't think it's possible. So I um, just waiting in case it falls in my lap someday. But I'm
Yeah, yeah.
grateful to have gotten to go in Disneyland.
It's a cool thing to like check off a Disney
Yeah.
list.
Yes.
But I mean, there's so many things that's on the list that are more attainable.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I am so, so, so lucky that I've gotten to go. And I know so many people who wish they can. So
Yeah.
it's great to have gotten to do that.
Yeah, it was a really special experience. Okay, so but if you can experience it in Club 33
Yeah,
by getting Ashley's
yeah.
book and cooking the food. So do you have a favorite recipe like amongst the two or between the two books that you really want people to try as like their first foray into like Disney cooking?
I was actually thinking about uh, I had said before the episode that it's been a minute since I wrote this. This has been out for several years now, so I'm trying to like reintroduce myself to what is in here exactly. But one of my favorite recipes that is an item that I get at the parks a lot is the Felucian kefta and hummus garden spread, and that is from Docking Bay 7. Have you had that?
No, but I was thinking of Morocco and the Morocco
Oh,
pavilion.
yeah. Yes. This is a Star Wars thing, which I know you love.
I do.
Um, but yeah, as I said, I love Docking Bay 7. I think that the vibes there are great. So this actually does have a photo. So if you can see this.
It's not just so everyone watching it. There's nothing untowards on the rest of the page because everything else is blurred except for the food.
Oh, yeah, I'm sorry.
There's
I'm
no
having a
like nudity. It's just the
blurred
blurred
office.
technique. Yeah.
No, there's nothing naughty on the page. Just these kefta balls. So, but yeah, I just think this is very fresh. It's very like it has this like cucumber tomato relish that is on it. That is, I just think, really yummy. And I love that it comes with pita bread, so you can dip or whatever. It kind of goes farther than it should because it comes with bread. So I think that one's a really great one just because it's something that I love to eat when I go there, and it's maybe one that people have been familiar with. Do they also have, yeah, oh, just right before that. Do you ever eat at Satuli Canteen?
I think I have once.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I love eating there too. I am an Avatar fan, but not for the reasons you think. I have a friend who lives in California who made the movies. So she
Oh
worked for
wow.
Lightstorm as a digital um, renderer. So she worked on Way of Water and Fire and Ash. So I love Avatar because of her, and she was able to show me like behind the scenes of the movie making process and all that. So that's very close to my heart because of that. But I otherwise am not a huge fan of the franchise. I do think the food at Satuli is very good. So this here on page 140 is the slow roasted sliced grilled beef bowls, and this is something that is not hard to make and it's very versatile. It's basically like a noodle bowl, like a stir fry noodle bowl. So you can make this any day of the week. You can make it ahead of time and pack it as a lunch. So this, if you didn't know it had anything to do with Avatar, you would never know it had anything to do with Avatar because it's just a noodle bowl. So there's no like theming there except that it has boba balls in it, which is, weird, but you don't have to put boba balls in it. But yeah, I think those are a couple fun ones to try.
Yeah, and it's like a little bit different. And those are, again, ones that you can play around with the flavor profiles to see if you like it. And then when you're in the park, like seek it out, especially if it's not normally food that you would have had to be able to try it at
Yeah.
home. I mean, the cost point might be a little bit lower to
Mm-hmm.
then be able to be in the park and then be like, oh yeah, like this is delicious here as well.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Ashley, this was so great to talk with you about these two cookbooks. The Universal one was amazing. The holiday one was amazing. I feel like we should do the Epcot one and the drinks one maybe in the same episode as well. But thank you so much for coming back on the Disney Solo Magic podcast. It was great
Yeah.
to talk about all the things that we don't have in common in terms of franchise.
I feel like, did you even say a franchise you like? What is a franchise you do like?
Well, I guess I don't really like the I mean, because that's kind of like more familiar or common language for things that have come out now, right? So I remember the first time and only time I've been to Star Wars Land, they like said something to me And I was like, oh no, I'm just princesses.
You're like, I'm not joining the
Unclear.
First Order. Don't include me in the stormtrooper lineup, please.
I'm like, I don't understand what's happening. I'm just a princess person, okay?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I really like all the classic
Yeah.
Fantasyland fairy tales.
Haunted
And then
Mansion.
for Hollywood studios, like, the Hollywood that never was and always will be, like all that area that I really love. So I wouldn't say it's like the franchises as much as just the theming. And I feel like it's like if you were to get a photograph, like the negative of everything that you said. So I mean, like Africa and Asia um uh in Animal Kingdom. I mean, I also love all the places in World Showcase too.
Yeah.
And so it's like those types of kind of classic things. So it's not really the franchises of like Marvel and Star Wars and Avatar
Yeah.
and Harry Potter that we talked about for the Universal one that
Right.
are more a common way of like organizing characters now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
totally.
Yeah.
Well, I love all that stuff too,
Okay,
so
good.
don't worry.
All right, great. We can be friends.
It's like, don't hate me for my love of Star Wars. I got my Star Wars tattoo right here, and
Oh my gosh, no, that's the
um,
thing. Like there's so many ways to appreciate the parks, especially
yeah,
when you go solo and like that's the
totally. You
thing,
can do
right?
whatever you love. Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
whatever makes you happy. Like, do it.
One quick question before as we wrap up. What would be your favorite ride at in the Walt Disney World Resort property for riding solo? Speaking of favorites.
Well, I would say, so I used to work on Expedition Everest at
Ah,
Animal Kingdom in Asia. And so I have been on that ride a million times by myself because I worked there. So we would ride the ride in the morning when we were setting up, we would ride it in the evening when we were closing down. I would ride it all the time. And it got to the point that I could take a nap on it because I know every corner, I know every turn. So it was almost like a break. Like I would feel myself. One time I heard that flight attendants, when they're passengers on a plane, like relax when there's turbulence because that's when they could take their breaks. And
right.
that was almost how it was like on Everest for me. Like I almost like relaxed when I would ride it, which is the opposite of what everyone's doing, because it was like a break. Like I knew my shift was over. Like, and so to this day, I ride it and still sort of like sink into the seat and have this nostalgic moment of peace amongst the crazy. So I would say Expedition Everest.
Well, I love that as an answer. We talked about that a lot because of the single rider line, but also that the queue in the regular line is so awesome that it's kind of
Yeah.
like a great experience for a solo either way.
And there is a whole storyline there if you don't know.
Yes. Yeah.
So look that up if you're waiting in the long line.
The winner for our March Madness was the People Mover, which I don't like. And so when we were talking about like there's so many different ways to like access the parks, when I
Yeah.
was there the last time, I was like, I should go on the People Mover because everyone, and then I was like, I don't really want to prioritize that. I don't think I'm gonna like it again. So
Yeah. I do
yeah.
love I love the People Mover. I think it's
Everyone
great.
loves it
So
except for me.
uh,
So that's okay.
I won't
Ashley,
wait.
how
I won't wait for it. It's great for a walk on. I won't wait for it.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Ashley, how can people get in touch with you and how can people get your books? These
Yeah.
ones
So
and other ones that you're working on and have published as well.
yeah, so if you go on any book retailer, I mean, I'll just say Amazon because it's easy, but if you type in my name, Ashley Craft, all my works will come up. So you can look at me that way. Also, Barnes and Noble, SimonandSchuster.com. Of course, your local library probably stocks a lot of these books. So definitely check that out. If you'd like to get in contact with me, I love hearing from readers. On Instagram, my handle is at Unofficial Taste Tester. So please send me a message if you have any questions or if you want to send me a pic of your latest creation. I want to see it. So
Yeah, I want to see it too. Send it to me as well.
yeah.
Ashley, this was so great. I can't wait for another chance for us to talk. But until then, we'll talk to you later.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
Hey Solos, it's Samantha. As we move into our third year of the podcast, please continue to support the podcast by liking, reviewing, subscribing on any and all of the platforms that this streams. Apple, Spotify, and on YouTube. Becoming a Patreon member is also an option and also just a wonderful way to support me and the podcast. Much appreciated to all the members, both free and paid. I can't wait to continue making content for you as we move into our third year.